All right, welcome back. So as you'll see, there's still one more vocab word in your worksheet, that being 100 days. So it looks like it's the end for Napoleon right now. We just talked about how it's the year 1814. His outnumbered army was crushed at Leipzig. He tries to win again in 1814, but the odds are too great. There's too many countries he's fighting. And yeah, he loses. So the empires or the countries that defeated him exile him to Elba, an island in the middle of the Mediterranean. And yeah, they just don't want him to be leader of France anymore. In his place, they reinstate the French monarchy. The Bourbons are back. Louis XVIII is now the leader of France, and it's almost like nothing happened. At least that's what the powers who fought Napoleon hoped. Turns out he's coming back. He's making a comeback. Yep. He returns to power without violence. You're probably like, how? Wasn't he exiled? Well, yeah, he was, but he managed to get back to France. And he had a small force of bodyguards to help him out. And you're probably like, how did one guy with just a couple of bodyguards become emperor of the French again? Well, it's a kind of iconic, famous story. The King of France, Louis XVIII, at this point, this is the year 1815, so he was only gone for like a year. But Louis XVIII was like, I'm going to capture Napoleon and put him in jail. And he sends his whole army to capture Napoleon. But famously, when the army approaches Napoleon, Napoleon brushes his bodyguards aside, puts his arms out, and is basically like, shoot me if you want to shoot me, because I can't defend myself, but never forget who your true emperor is, or something to that effect. And as you can see in this picture in the top right-hand corner, everyone's like, you're right, Napoleon, we love you. So the army that was sent to arrest Napoleon ended up just joining Napoleon. So that's kind of awkward, for the king at least, King Louis XVIII. So then Napoleon marches to France with his new army that he just got for free. He didn't have to, like, fire a single shot. They all just pledged their loyalty to Napoleon because they really liked him. He re-enters France. The Bourbon King, Louis XVIII, just escapes. He just leaves because he doesn't want to get his head chopped off like his uncle, Louis XVI, or great uncle or something did. So yeah, now Napoleon is in charge again, and this leads us to your last vocab word, the 100 days. This is where Napoleon promises to be more democratic, more open to compromise than before. And you're like, why is it called 100 days? It's because he's in charge again for only 100 days. We'll get to why he's not in charge for longer. But yeah, so he realizes some of the sins of his past. He's like, I'm sorry for being such a despot and a dictator. He's going to try to do some more democratic reforms. He's also very open to compromise with the people he's been fighting for so long, like the British and like the Spanish and the, Austrians, Russians, and stuff like that. He's basically willing to give up all of his territories that he's conquered in his great empire, other than France. He's like, hey guys, I'm sorry for everything I did. It was really bad that we fought a bunch of wars. Just let me keep France. You guys can keep everything else, and we're chill. But they were not chill. The allies, the people, when I say allies, that's the people who are allied against Napoleon. The allies said, no, this is not chill. So they decided to declare war on Napoleon again, and the War of the Seventh Coalition has begun. So yeah, now Napoleon's saying, okay, this didn't really go well in the War of the Sixth Coalition, where all of Europe declared war on me last time. They're doing it again. So he's like, the only way I can win is maybe surprising them, doing like a surprise attack. I need the element of surprise. You know how they always say that? You need the element of surprise to win and stuff like that. So Napoleon decides to surprise the Allied armies by, instead of playing defense, he decides to go on the offense at a place called Waterloo. It's in Belgium. It's I think 8 miles south of the capital of Belgium, Brussels. Also near an important city. Napoleon launches a surprise attack against the British. There's a lot of, they call it the Anglo-Allied army, but he launches a surprise attack, and yeah, it doesn't really work out for various reasons. He loses. This is the most famous battle in history. He loses, and he is exiled to St. Helena. Instead of sending him to some small island in the Mediterranean, they sent him to a tiny island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean with British warships circling him, so he doesn't try to do any sort of crazy escape again. And this time he does not do a crazy escape. He just dies 6 years later in 1821. And When he is exiled after the defeat at Waterloo, the French monarchy, the Bourbons, Louis XVIII, is restored, and France is a monarchy all over again. So yeah, the 100 days, the vocab word you have here, I'd say that probably goes on the left-hand side of your chart. He's trying to be more democratic. He's trying to be more liberty, equality, and fraternity than he was at his worst. He's also willing to compromise, trying to end the wars. So that's definitely liberty, kind of making sure his people aren't like in a state of warfare anymore. But yeah, it was kind of all for naught, some argue, because the French monarchy was restored. Louis XVIII is in charge again. Napoleon is dead. The revolution is dead for the time being. And yeah, that's the story of Napoleon. So please complete your T chart. Uh, Make sure you put all the key events, your key vocab words on either the left side or the right side, whichever you believe Napoleon, whether he was a hero in this event or a villain in another event. Make sure you place those strategically in your chart to help you write your final 2-paragraph response. Have a good one.